It's it's my big pleasure to welcome now Rachel Uva from School of Machines, Making and Make-Believe for a conversation on reimagining better futures and tools for collaboration. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Ella. Lovely to be here with you.
Hey, I'm super happy to see you here. And actually, the timing of this call is, or this conversation is actually ideal because over the course of the last 3 days, we came across so many complexities and things that, we have to reconfigure, we have to start a new, let's say, new way of tackling them. There is a lot of things we agreed to unlearn in various sessions. And now I really hope to do like a roundup together with you of all these learnings, because I know you have also followed large parts of the conference. But first and foremost, I also want to invite you to recap a little bit with me the class we did last year for School of Machines, Making and Make-Believe, that had exactly the same title as our conversation. And that was really one of the most inspiring things for me last year because I drew so much learning from it. And maybe we can touch base on some of the learnings and share them here. And maybe even we have some people following us that have attended the session. And those of you who are with us in the live stream, please join our website, the chat, and you can leave your questions there. I'm very happy to pass them on to Rachel. But Rachel, before we get started, can I ask you to quickly introduce yourself and just say a few words about you?
Yeah, thank you, Ella. Basically, my name is Rachel Uva, and I'm originally from the U.S., but I've been living in Berlin about 17 years, just about in like a month or something. And yeah, I started School of Machines, Making Make-Believe in 2014 after having organized many meetups and workshops and helping with conferences and things. And I wanted to find a better way for people to learn things that they take with them, and not just like that you learn in a weekend and you're like, okay, great, look, I learned this thing, and then you leave and you never, take it back up or whatever. So I'm really invested in like intensive learning experiences. And I guess that would be a summary for the most part.
Yeah, and that's great. And before we dive into our tools of reimagining and collaborating, I want to ask you, because I've been meaning to ask you for quite a while, what helps you to put this amazing curriculum together for schools of machine making and make-believe? Because your classes are very special and they provide, I would say, knowledge and tools that you can't find on regular universities and stuff. So what helps you to compile this knowledge and to create a curriculum?
I think that having experienced a lot of pain in life, basically, and it kind of like makes you pay attention to what's going on in the world and how people are suffering. And so I generally, I'm just like, what is going on now? Like, for example, the class that we are about to talk about, the tools for reimagining better worlds through cooperation, basically that came about because the pandemic happened. And I have been running the school for many years, and that's like my full-time job. And so when the pandemic hit and all my classes are basically like live in-person full-time classes, I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I thought that it's a really awkward time to be asking for money, asking for, putting something out into the world and asking for money when everybody was doing things for free for many months, like from the very beginning. And so, but this was my life. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I thought about the people that I care about, like you, Regine from We Make Money Not Art, for example. And I was like, there's such great knowledge here. And these tools, the knowledge that they have are tools for the future that we need to understand in order to kind of it just felt like the time to rethink everything. And so yeah, I think that it has to do with caring about other people and what's going on in the world, even more than myself, which I think is part of the topic that I want to talk about, even when we talk about like code of conduct, for example, because the reality is all these things are not about us, it's about everybody else. And that's part of what community is. And so I'm really glad that we'll be able to cover these things today.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe I just want to add one more point that seems to be important for me. When talking about the curriculum for future learning, we should probably not only talk about the themes, but also about the methodologies of learning. And what I have experienced in this common project was pretty much a way of opening up a space for mutual learning that felt kind of good and new, because it was not, because usually you enter such an arena and you have the feeling, oh, I have to provide a lot of content so people are happy with the class and they have a lot to take away. But I think the challenge really lies into opening up a learning field where everyone is invited to engage in, and so you can discover all these things together. And one of the examples that emerged in this course, when we talked about reimagining better worlds through collaboration and cultures and tools that we might use for that, one of the things that